Kino Man is back again. Comedy Cast, episode 14.
Dope.
I'm sitting here with the young homie, Hāzy. Hāzy ke reke cable, guys. Ale donate. B-sides is out. It's $4, man. Cop that shit so I can buy some cables. You know, Bandcamp exclusive. But yeah, we out here. What up, Hāzy?
Good, how are you, bro?
Chilling, my G.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Where do we start? I always say I get the interview. It's just conversations, and I think it's nice to have a young nigga that's moving in the music space, trying to make a name for himself. I think where I want to start with you is getting your take on like how it is to move in the current climate of SA hip hop. I don't know if you consider yourself a hip hop artist, or alternative or what. Like I'm a rapper, yes, I do tap into other sounds, but the core of what I do is hip hop. I don't know if you consider yourself to fall under that same bag.
I do 1000% hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm a rapper first. I just know how to make beats.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
you know, singing key.
So I mean, how long you been doing it? You haven't been doing it too long.
This is my 8th year now. 8th year.
8th year?
Yeah, recording music, releasing music.
Okay, cool. And how is it? How is it? Like, I mean, I was sitting with Tody the other day and I was telling him like, yo, hip hop isn't, what did I say? It's not, it's a young man's sport, right?
But
and he was like,
rap is an old souls.
It's an old souls, yeah.
Game.
You know, but I still feel like, as much as I agree with that statement 100%, I still feel like the majority of the niggas that are dominant right now, and I always struggle to remember these niggas' names. They're doing some dope shit, you know. And since starting this platform, I've been coming across a lot of them. You know, like this new cat, Mamani or
Usmaman.
Usmaman.
Yeah.
When I first heard his name, I thought they talk about Musi Maimani. I was like, y'all talking about politicians and rapping and shit. That's jokes. But yeah, you know, it's a young niggas game from a conversation point of view. The subject matter, and I'm tuning in because I have to.
Yeah.
But from content point of view, I still don't relate to a lot of the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel you.
So how do you navigate that space? Like, how do you decide, or like, what's your end goal?
Honestly, I'm on my own wave. I'm on my own time. I believe that, well, actually, I'm having some of the most fun in the industry creatively, not so much business-wise. It's a bit slow on that end.
Is that a big focus for you?
Yeah, I need to really log in on my business acumen. You know.
Okay.
Just mainly generating revenue wise as a business.
Yeah.
You know. But creatively it's going very well.
And are you operating as a label? Are you operating as a creative hub? Are you like what from a business point of view? What's because you know, watching you from when Tabo first kind of introduced me to your stuff, I was like, okay, I'm gonna trying to do this shit, like, you know. And my thing is, I've always been trying to tap into dope youngsters and bring in the work ethic side of it. Yeah. Right. And it's always a struggle in that regard because niggas babatla blew up. Right. So with approaching the business side of things and trying to make money out of this shit, it's still a struggle for me. Yeah. You know, you end up spending a lot, but getting it back is tough.
Yes.
What's your, how do you view yourself maneuvering it as a business? Is it a creative hub? Is it a label? Are you trying to sign niggas? Are you trying to, what are you doing?
Yeah, eventually I do wanna get into my exec bag, but right now I'm my artist, signed to myself. I needed to create my imprint, my own imprint. I have a partnership with my bro VNH Enterprise, and my subsidiary under that, Secret Club.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my label. That's where my music is released. So I'm wearing both hats, exec hat and artist hat.
Okay.
I find it to be much better that way and more flexible, and there are more opportunities with operating in that way.
Break that down for me.
In terms of that, as an artist, I can collaborate on my other artist projects, but as an executive, I might also be releasing that same project. So covering all aspects.
Oh, so
that
you
go
mean like
into-
if me and you work on a joint,
Yeah.
and then say I don't have a label, I don't have a
Yeah.
business to release, you take on that project
Yeah,
and distribute
yeah,
it on
yeah,
behalf of. Okay, that's
yeah,
dope.
you
That's
know.
dope. That's what's up. Like
Yeah,
that's
bro.
what's up. Yeah, man, it's a tough space, but and then as an artist, where do you see yourself? On I don't interview.
Yeah.
As an artist,
Gonna-
where do you? Where's your bag at? Like, where's your pocket? Like, because your shit is not rapidly rap, and I guess SA music has evolved in that way that hip hop, it's sometimes kind of hard to decipher if an artist is a hip hopper,
Hip-hop
if it's
or,
alternative, if it's R&B, because there's a lot of sonic influences from different genres in our country, right?
Yes.
And I find it interesting, but a lot of niggas move like rappers and hip hoppers, but they're not.
They're not. Yeah.
So where's your pocket?
When I'm an artist, well, as an artist, my pocket is, I really want to be mainstream, bro. I really want like to play at a high level.
Sure.
With the legends that come before us, and have my name sort of in that history book.
Okay.
As a world-renowned musician.
Okay.
But some of the roles I play because I can't only play one role. I don't have the capacity to have the stuff I need right now, so I kind of have to fill those gaps.
Sure.
That's why I've developed skills in that regard.
Do you feel like that's hindering your artistry?
Not really. It's actually given me priceless lessons,
Okay.
to have in my arsenal in the future. Should I not have a certain staff member to play a certain role, I'll play that role temporarily or whatever.
Sure.
But I don't feel like it's hindering me or holding me back. I feel like it's part of the process. You need to, do some groundwork.
I feel that. I can resonate with that, man. Like, shit. And you're young, and I wish I was talking like you when I got into this thing, right?
Yeah.
So I come from a era where when we started off with Soto Mafia, it was a whole collective of, I think there was 9 of us. In there were producers and artists. Excuse me. And a lot of the talent in that pool was niggas that wanted to tap into the mainstream.
Yeah.
And I think the best example of that is Tsejo.
Yeah.
Right? He knew what the fuck he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But we were all in a label situation. And I think for me, the biggest hindrance in that was not being privy to what happens in the back end. Right? So I got excited with the idea of being more rapper. You go to studio, you rap.
Yeah,
you
stage
leave.
show.
In a month,
Yeah.
they give you the CD, like, here's your album or here's your single or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you don't know the work that it takes to
do that.
Right. So when I started tapping into like, and that hindered my artistry as well, because the idea of going to studio was like me sitting at home writing and then I'm like, yo, I gotta impress. But what happens when I get there is that the shit don't bang.
Ish.
The shit don't bang. There's no room or time for creative exploration.
Yeah.
To try and do different things or explore your voice or your pen game, and it's like, yo, you got an hour to get in there, lace that shit, and it's either gonna slap or it's not. You know, and a lot of the time, Nerubu Wamalova on the pod, Rere, yo man, like we went through so many sessions that brought out fuck all in terms of music, like in terms of gems.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the hindrance I'm talking about. Like, but now being able to record, engineer my own shit, mix, you know, from time to time I'll play in the making a beat type situation, or I'll executive produce from that regard, like pull in this producer and that producer and you know, make them do some dope and play around with, you know, just no boundaries in terms of creative expression. You know, being able to do that came from being hands-on on the business front.
Yes.
If I can put it that way. Yes. Because you understand where this shit is going to kind of be promoted or marketed to, or the audience that you're trying to tap into, and how to get to them before you even make the song, I guess. Yeah. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. You know, is it the same for you?
It is. Definitely 100% the same. And you realize that by doing all the other tasks that are necessary. You know, not just only by focusing on one. Well, at least not until it starts regressing you in some way and you feel like it's holding you back. But it's necessary, bro. You need to understand the whole landscape of what it takes to make a demo a master. You know, to perform that master on the biggest stages.
Did you study this shit, or is it something you just picked up?
Self-taught. I'd never went to college for anything.
For fuck all.
Fuck all, bro.
Yeah, niggas is brave, dog. God damn.
We out here.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Now, you collaborate with a lot of niggas.
Yeah.
I see you've got Bossandra in your camp. You've got Just Jabba.
Yeah. Shout out Just Jabba.
What's
Shout
this
out
lady's
Sandra.
name? I saw her. She did a song with Ben Lay, my lover.
Cheryl Zondi. Miss Cheryl Zondi. Shout out.
I want to work with her.
Yeah.
You collaborate with a lot of dudes, man.
Yeah,
and
bro.
A lot of them are making some waves out here. I was playing Otto now. I didn't know that you knew him.
Yeah. Otto's the boy.
You know, so how does... I find it hard right now to maneuver like that, to collaborate with this. Like, I want to work with a lot of people, but I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
My piece is important to me.
Yeah.
And politiki baya in the game. And I just don't have the patience to deal with certain shit. Like, whoever I've worked with in the past, it's all been organic, right? But there's no... I wouldn't call it friendships. You know, I don't have like solid friendships with these niggas. I've met them. We've spoken.
Yeah.
Some of them I was surprised at before. Even, you know, I remember I pulled up to P.O. in Melville one time. We were at Sixes.
Yeah.
And he was sitting outside. And I was like, yo, what up, my G? You know, I was gonna come at him on some fan shit. Like, yo, I like your shit. It's like, oh, wait, Poison was good. You know, and I don't know what he said, but turned out he was familiar with who I was and our shit, Hashwan. And, you know, and he's like, yo, man, we should do some work. And, you know, and I slept on that. But it was dope to see a nigga like him know who the fuck I was and familiar with my music and want to actually work. Yeah. So I was like, most deaf, bro. Like, I'm gonna hit you up, you know? but even getting that, like, it's on me now to kind of make it happen, but I haven't, because it's just like, man,
time investment.
it's a lot.
The
you know
time
what I mean?
investment, yeah.
But and also that kind of energy hinders your growth and progression and tapping into new audiences. I like what y'all are doing in terms of, you know, creating this movement or this hub of artists that are kind of all doing their own shit,
Yeah.
but working together. How does that work? How does that kind of begin to even develop?
So fortunately, with the people you mentioned, I have friendships and personal relationships with, and they happen to be great artists.
Yeah.
But there are times where I meet artists who I probably don't even know that they are artists, or I don't know, I don't have any relationship with them prior. But it takes initiative. That's what I realize. It takes initiative. It takes you actually doing something about it, like just a call or a text, just to say, "Yo, can we do studio? Ning 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 ning. Are you down?"
Sure.
And if it falls through from that point, you did your part. You know, there'll come a time where you're meant to be in studio together. You know,
I feel you.
because I'm also a firm believer of organic relationships. I don't get into situations if it's not organic.
Yeah.
I don't like to force shit.
I feel you.
But it does take a certain amount of initiative.
Yeah, that shit will ruin the vibe, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've been in sessions where I'm like, why?
Yeah, and
why
then,
are we doing
you know,
this?
you find that sometimes you link up with an artist, you're hyped, you know, you get to the session, and it's like, you know what, I'm actually not missing out. I'm cool.
Like, yeah,
You know, it's cool.
I'm vibing with this shit.
I'll see you next time.
Now, you so obviously with these niggas, y'all always working together and shit. You when it comes to like putting together projects, like I know you just put together a project.
Yeah.
Let's talk on that a little bit. You know, the idea behind it and the creative process of like putting that music together. Was it intentional, or do you guys just regularly session and work on a bunch of music, and then you're like, okay, this, that, I'm gonna take that, you can have that? How does that work?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. Sometimes we do have like pre-organized, premeditated sessions, but sometimes you just stumble upon those songs, you know, those products that you like, you know what, I actually want this for myself, or I actually think, Donna, you'd be dope on this if you drop this but put my verse on. That would be dope. And if homie's down, that's great.
Sure.
But it's a little bit of both. Sometimes we do put together these sessions in advance, or sometimes I'll come to you with a demo, and I'm like, yo, bro, please do something on here.
Sure.
Yeah, and then putting the music out, however, may be a little different, because some of us have our own labels. Others we are dropping through labels we are signed to, etc., etc. And we just have to communicate how we're gonna do this. But one thing's for sure, you gotta do the splits. I don't care.
Yeah, 100%.
You need to do the splits and split it equally, as much as possible as you can. I'm like that,
I'm gonna
bro.
give you what you did.
Yeah,
that's another thing, right? So, okay, let's talk about splits for a second, right? I saw something on the internet the other day, and it's like, I personally, I'm okay with like giving a producer 50%. That's 50% on the joint. But I started thinking about it recently, and I'm like, yo, you know, sometimes I'll get a beat, and then I will, for example, let's say I cop a beat online.
Yeah.
I cop a beat, and then I'm like, yeah, it's slapping, but the song needs this, right? And I'll need some keys and ba 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 ba, and you know,
yeah.
And I'll call in a session musician or a producer, you know, and say I need to give him that, you know. But now the problem I tend to have is that these non-exclusive deals with producers online, they'll say they get 50% of the final joint.
Yeah.
Right? Fair. But now I've added another producer to that shit. So technically I should be splitting that 50 with that producers. That's the producer's 50. Right? But what tends to happen is that there's sometimes no wiggle room in that lease agreement, that I now have to split my 50,
your 50 with
the feature, with the additional producer,
sessionists,
with the sessionist, with the and I'm like, that's some bullshit.
Publishers sometimes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's some bullshit. And I mean the publish only comes into play when we're talking about my split of the joint.
Yes.
I split my split.
Yes, with the publisher. Yeah.
Right. But I find it to be bullshit, and I'm like, yo, there must be a way to re-amend these lease agreements. Like, if I'm gonna add production to this shit, I should be able to take off of your 50 as a producer. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I should be able to, because in reality, if you're producing here, and I end up adding to the production, and I end up singing on that shit, I'm gonna cut the 50, the production 50 with you, and then I'm gonna take my 50 if I'm alone on the song.
Yeah,
right.
I feel you.
Or we'll do. I'm not gonna do an equal split. It's not equal because I produce too.
You produce more. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's that conversation of what is equal.
That's the.
I think it should be more about what is fair. Not equal.
Not equal.
Because if we're going to go equal 50-50, there's two guys on the song, so split it. Nah.
I actually, thank you for saying fair, because I was kind of correcting myself here after I said that shit, and I was like,
you know what I'm saying? So fair is not always equal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not always an equal percentage for all of us.
Yeah.
But it's fair based on contribution.
Sure.
Right?
Shit, nigga, I be giving people splits that were just in studio, like
just personnel,
and they said, "Hey man, honor the Haukari." You know, I got this joint drip, with Matlera and Vizo.
Yeah.
And there's a hand in the song. I don't know if you heard the joint.
Yeah.
You know that it's not a sample. Like she came in and did a whole freestyle thing on the joint, and I kind of took it after she left. I was like, yo, this is nice. And that line where she says it's somewhere in my voice where she's like, take this one back to the crib and eat it. That was just there randomly. I was like, yo, man, I gotta take this and write something around it, like, you know, make it part of the song. And when the song came out, I gave her a call like, yo, you don't have a publisher or anything like that, right? So I'm gonna handle your publishing. Here's your split sheet. This is what you're getting off the joint if it ever makes you know any money. She's like, nigga, what? Oh my god! And I realized that motherfuckers don't do that.
Yeah,
you know. If you're not an artist and you happen to be in the studio and you contributed to the song, it's unlikely that you'll get put on to the split sheet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because niggas feel like chalte ya no ya waka, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like niggas should really start looking into doing shit like that. You know what I mean?
That's something I pride myself with too, you know, that courtesy to give artists what they're worth on that particular joint.
Word.
You know. Even if it was just a guitarist.
Yes, sir.
You know, or somebody that helped me with the line.
No, especially session musicians. You gotta give them
You gotta.
They split.
You know.
I'm actually checking. I'm checking the credits on this joint. Kendrick Lamar. We Cry Together.
Yeah.
So I was really curious who the hand on that song was. Taylor Page.
Can which album is that?
This is Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, right? Taylor Page is that joint where they're arguing.
Yeah.
And when the video, when the joint came out, I went to Spotify. I was like, "Oh, this is Han," and that was the only song on her
Spotify,
on her profile.
Yeah.
And she's an actress. She's a dope ass fucking actress. And I was like, when the video came out, I was like, it made sense, right?
Yeah.
You needed somebody that's going to played a part
Yes.
on the visuals.
Yeah.
But she came through very strong on the performance of it, you know. And I was wondering, like, from a writer's perspective, what was the involvement of that song? And she's just a performer on there, but I mean, the writer's credits is, you know, there's a bunch of people, there's a bunch of folks up in here that are writing, you know. And I was like, man, that's dope, you know. And as South African artists, we don't evolve. I could be wrong. Just from my
Your
perspective, we don't take it that far. You know, I think Madlera does when in the creative process, like involving people that write and you know, and I'm not talking about your verse, but writing the song.
Yeah.
So
especially when there's a narrative.
Yeah, like, so that it's an experience over everything. It you know, certain music, like when we're working on Elementary, certain songs, as much as there's not too much discussion about it, like we get the feeling we're trying to give off, and it's like, okay, the three of us as Ashon is not enough to bring that forth, to bring that across. So we need to like tap in and have conversations about this and that.
Yeah.
Or who can we put in, or what can we do? You know what I mean? Sometimes we'll bring in a vocalist, but write the hook and be like, yo, you need to sing this shit, and like, you know,
production. That's production.
That's producing, right? And we need to give people writers credits for that shit, you know.
Yes.
Like, I be on niggas shit, like, yeah, nigga, like, you know, but I'm like, I don't want to get involved because I know I'm going to be like, yo, but where's my credit?
Yeah.
Nigga going to be like, what you talking about, dog? You ain't on the song. I'm like, nigga, I'm on the song.
And that's the thing. Not everyone is like you, hey? Not everyone will give you that courtesy. Yo, boys in.
Yeah.
Shout out.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's a joint. There's a joint I did for a homie in Bots. He wanted me to do the hook. Yeah. No, he actually wanted me to do a verse. Send me the joint. He had a verse. He had another dude on the hook, and I hit him up. I was like, "Ish, poison. Like, this is a dope concept. It's a dope joint, but it's like, this hook ain't it, bro. Like, this, you know, no hate on the homie that's on it, but like, this ain't. If I'm gonna get involved, I'm gonna take over the joint. I'm gonna do the hook. I'm gonna do the verse, and then when I did the hook and the verse, I was like, ish, the beat's also not slapping the way this instrument. That's not the one.
I hate that rabbit hole.
You know, and I'm like, yo, bring the seps. Pull up with the seps, and it's a delicate conversation, right? But thank goodness, you know. Homie was very understanding about it. You know, shout out to Arms. The joint is called B now.
Shout out.
And I brought in Green Fingers on production, and I also did a little bit. I started with a little bit of production and arrangement on my side. And I was like, nah, it's needing. Yeah, I need some musicality to it. And I was like, yo, Green, come through. And you know, when it's time to do the splits, he understood everything, but there was still some mistakes in terms of, you know, the crediting and whatever. But I had to make it clear, like, yo, man, production is the original producer. It's me. It's Green Fingers. And then there's the writing credits, which is you and me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So there's that 50%, which is you and me, 25-25. And then there's the composer split, and Oms is a producer himself, so he probably now that split is probably going 4 ways. So all in all, I'm getting that 25, and then getting my split from that other 50.
Yeah, the composition.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but those conversations don't always go down smoothly.
True.
You know.
True, yeah.
They really don't. So I'm glad you niggas are privy to that shit and you're moving in the right way. And kudos to y'all, man.
Appreciate that, bro.
I'm gonna tap into your EP.
Let's do it.
What's Good Hāzy 2?
What's Good Hāzy 2, man? The sequel.
Yeah, what's up with it being a sequel? What's up? When was the first one? What's the whole narrative between then and now? And
Yeah.
what's up with this project? What's up? Talk us through it.
So What's Good Hāzy 2, man, is basically my vehicle for reinvention, for it's my vehicle for dictating what's next, in a sense, you know. So What's Good Hāzy 1 did that with Tabo. I call him Abo. We did that in 2021. We released it 2021, December 18th. And this one was supposed to be a second anniversary that was supposed to drop last year, December 18th.
Yeah.
But you know how things
I
go.
said no.
Yeah. It's not me,
said
guys.
Nah.
But I understand that. I get it. But What's Good Hāzy is basically that, man, a vehicle for transition in a nutshell.
Yeah.
You know, with the first one, I was finding my voice. With this one, I found my voice, but I want to amplify it.
Oh wait.
You know.
And I will say, like, there was a big difference. I don't want to say Nikiwa Nyata.
Yeah.
When Tabo first came with What's Good Hāzy, the first one.
The first
I was
one.
like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. You know, it's hard to impress me
potential.
also. You know, it's easy and it's hard at the same time. But with this project, I think what was impressive is seeing the growth.
Yeah.
From a Sonic's point of view and your approach to, you know, the musicality and making a great song.
Thank you.
I think what's dope about this, it's a collection of dope songs.
Yeah.
And it's not just music.
Yes.
That I was in studio, I was thinking,
Yes.
right? And there's a big difference between that. I'll compare it to B-sides, for example, right? B-sides is not a compilation of great songs.
I feel you.
It's a compilation of demos, shit that I was fucking with in the studio, and I had my pen game was strong, and I was like, I'm gonna put this shit out, right?
Yeah.
With What's Good Hāzy 2, I feel like, yo, it's well put together. You know, from an artist's point of view, there was a vision, there was an end goal when you started this
When
shit.
I did, yeah.
You know, it wasn't just doing shit to do shit. So I like that growth element. And it's very obvious.
Thank you, bro.
You know,
thank you so much.
I think people should check it out.
Please check it out,
Yeah,
man.
people should definitely
Streaming
check it out.
everywhere.
The creative behind it, you know, as a creative myself, it's always important to tell stories.
Yes.
And I think this project had great potential to tell a story outside of the music.
Yeah.
And with the tagline that you gave us, you know, when we're discussing how to put this project out, you know, what was it?
Timeless songs for different moods.
Timeless songs for different moods. And
yes, sir.
That's the narrative behind it. So I want you to like kind of talk us through it, because we developed this whole strategy around, you know, what you want people to understand about Hāzy and the artist and the music.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk about that a little bit. We got rotation. I mean, there's a lot of joints. People will check it out. But just talk us through like the whole transition from What's Good Hāzy, the growth, and you going into this.
So going into this one, bro, I mean, at the end of the day, it's an EP, right? We expect that an EP is just a compilation of singles, etc. I still wanted to maintain that, but also to maintain the integrity of it being a body of work regardless.
Sure.
Even though it's just extended plays, just singles. So I did want that intention to come across, that there's a story, there's a narrative here, there's messaging, you know, and it comes out sequentially. Track 1, Got a Lotta, is basically introspection, retrospection rather, reflection, just a look in the mirror at that point in time. I think I did that song last year. And then from Tlala Ka Wena to Regardless, track 2 to track 6 is a love story. You know, I was in love.
Heartbreak.
I was, yeah.
What hurting?
Yeah, bang herdile. But you know,
I want to talk about the in retrospect idea.
Yeah.
Like what were the realizations that you came to?
yeah, the realizations was that, you know what, man, fuck this shit, man. You know,
Yeah.
it was frustration of, you know, daily things, but also with the music challenges, I guess. But in that song, I'm basically just talking about how, like, yo, I'm tired of feeling like I'm regardless. This is in referral to the come up, you know, feeling like I'm not seen, feeling like I'm not doing enough, etc., etc. But I also touch on, you know what, it's cool. I'm on my own time. I'm on time. I just gotta keep doing what I'm doing. Khotla loka. You know,
Is it a thing? Sorry to cut you off.
No
Is
stress.
it a thing of looking for affirmation for the shit that you do?
Yeah.
From external influences?
Yeah. In a sense, I cover that, but also I realize that, you know what, no, I don't need external validation at the same time.
Sure.
I like playing with two sides of the coin. You know,
Yeah.
I like saying, you know what, fuck you, but in the same breath, I'll also say, you know what, I get it. I
Yeah.
understand.
Oh,
you
wait.
know, I like
that's
that reconciliation effect.
And that's a tough thing to kind of. That's something I struggle with still. You know, I'm more into my own as an artist. I'm you know, I got my bravado up.
Yeah.
You know, but there's still that element where you do seek some kind of validation.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would have ever gotten to this point had I not taken the time to actually look in the mirror and reflect and be like, yo, man, what's the end goal? What are we actually doing this for?
Yeah.
Who are we pleasing? Where's the joy? Where's the real joy in creating what we're creating?
Yeah.
Is it the creative process itself? Is it when the people get to hear it? Is it the putting it out to the world and seeing how it grows on people?
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
so I like that approach, because that's something that never goes away. I don't think it ever goes away.
Nah.
But it's important to be aware of, like, what's moving your spirit in terms of creating certain shit.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So with this, I'm assuming you were creating from a place of fuck how people receive this music.
Yes. Like right now is that time where, you know what, I'm so invested in what I'm doing. I'm so focused. I'm the most focused I've ever been in my life, bro. Like, not even matric, dog. I feel so sharp, and this is that body of work that's, you know what, I'm putting it out because I got more fire shit, but also I need to shed this skin.
Sure.
And, you know, expose the next, and shed that and expose the next, and continue to grow. That's why I call it a vehicle of transition.
Sure.
You know, I might do a piano song on Waskurezi 3. Then I start, you know.
See, that's what I was talking about earlier when I asked you about what's your bag, nigga. You rapper or
I'm a rapper, bro. I wanna rap. I wanna be at niggas' necks, but that's not gonna feed my family, bro. You know,
that's some bullshit. Fuck all that.
I'm sorry, dog.
Why do niggas say
I'm
that?
sorry, bro.
Why do niggas say that? I feel like that's the fucking problem with SA fucking hip hop. Because niggas feel like ain't nothing wrong with making some radio ass shit with some fucking bars, dog.
And
you know what I mean? Like, it's like, why can't you be at a nigga's neck and still make a fucking
You know what it
joint
is, nah.
that's poppy and but have them bars?
You know what it is? It's not necessarily a disregard. It's more of a compromise. I try to marry the two. I try to marry the commercial with the extra lyrical, the smart, witty, you know, MC. You know, that's why some of my songs well, most of my songs, I'm singing on the hook, but the verse is still more rapper, you know.
I get that.
I still need that identity, that
Yeah,
integrity.
niggas need to stop separating that shit. Like, and the idea that it puts out to the world for me is like, if you come out saying I'm a rapper, then you know you're either a lyrical miracle, you know, fucking 25 syllable words and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, B. It's like it's something else. It's like, you know, the pen skill, man, is something to be admired.
Yeah.
And I've stopped calling myself morepa in everyday situations, being introduced to niggas and Hans and you know, I tell my niggas like, yo, don't be telling niggas I'm a rapper, because there's this fucking stigma that goes with it locally, right?
True.
It's like, if you're gonna go out there and call yourself a rapper, you gotta look a certain way, you gotta move a certain way, you gotta have, you know, money, and you be flashy. Fuck all that. You know what I mean? I'm an artist, and I consider myself a very skilled MC. My pen game is solid. And when I go out there saying I'm a rapper, I don't expect to be looked at as, hey, you're my man. Hey, lekete. Body in it, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not it. That's not what being a rapper means. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that narrative needs to change, because that's why older niggas are not moving in that light of like, yo, I'm an MC first. It's like, yo, I do all this other shit and I rap.
I feel you, bro. But
you know,
at the same time, look at the lineups. Who's on the lineups?
Yeah, but fuck the lineups, bro. Fuck the lineups. I'm not looking at lineups. So that, a nigga my age, bro. When you get to my age, when you're sitting here, I'm not playing certain shit in the crib, dog.
Yeah.
I'm listening to more international hip hop right now, because there's a lot more niggas that are speaking to niggas in my fucking age group.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I mean? Locally, they ain't no niggas talking to me.
True, yeah.
Really, there's very few niggas that are speaking to me, right? And I mean that from making music that resonates with me personally, right? If you look at a lot of dope MCs, a lot of their shit is about how dope they are. It's like, dig that shit. But let's move into like, let's talk about real life stories. Let's talk about real life shit. I want to make an example with Coast Contra.
Yeah.
Coast Contra has got this joint called Ayo. If off the first spin, I was like, damn, bars, too many of them. But the more I play it, from second verse and Jamal's verse, the first dude, he's speaking on like, yo, resuscitating hip hop and blah 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 blah. And, you know, and I fucking love the approach. That was my favorite verse when I first spun that joint.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the second verse, this dude is talking about how, you know, he's come up in the game. You know, first time he was in New York, he met Mang. He opened for Cleo Soul, and you know, that realization of like, I ain't gotta be you're my man, or, you know, flashy chains and all this shit to get the recognition and love that I need for my pen game, because that's what I'm in here for. It's for my pen game, and I want that for being dope for my pen.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? For making dope ass records. Third dude speaks on the looking in the mirror, which I was just talking about, and that's why I'm making them an example, because he's on that reflective tip, like, you know, yo, I've come so far in this rap shit, and I haven't compromised who I am. And if I look out to the people that are rocking with my shit, they actually tapping in because I'm saying something meaningful. I'm tapping into another side of it beyond just entertainment. Niggas really resonate on a genuine level because of various reasons, whatever the fucking reason may be, right? And then the third homie, he's like really elevating. Yo, that's the sickest verse I've heard all year for me. And he's like really tapping into like what it means to be this dope. this ain't just me being a rapper trying to flex my. There's a greater responsibility here.
Yes.
Right, and I am not one to play with.
Yes.
When it comes to this pen shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what I'm missing from. I mean, we can't still be looking at the Grootman Stogie T for that.
Yeah.
We need more niggas that are gonna give him a challenge.
Who are some prospects you're looking at to like sort of fulfill that? I like how Tody said it in that other. Well, the notion rather, Yahore, the African rapper has a responsibility.
Yeah.
Just sidebar that, but for a second, who are some prospects you think are playing that role? That are
Off the bat, I'd say A Reese for me, and I hated on A Reese for a while, but and that's because I didn't really give him a listen.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm listening to a lot of A Reese right now, and I fuck with the dude. Like, I like what he's saying.
Yeah.
His approach is very different to a lot of these cats. I dig it. Matlera, obviously, he's just a smart individual.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell this nigga read a lot of different shit that he found on his own, and he's tapped into another kind of narrative, and I love how he brings it to who he is. It's very authentic to him.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel pretentious. It doesn't feel like he's trying to represent something that he heard about, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He moves how he talks. It's just fucking authentic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dope cats out there, man.
Yeah.
I like Stino Litwini because they talk about some nice shit in a very light, not heavy way. But I'll be hearing these niggas talk. I'm like, damn. There's a line that hit me right in the joint they did with Matlera. I wish I could remember the line. It's like, but he's talking about something along the lines of if I was a young nigga, like cocaine and whatnot, right? And that particular line hit me because I was like, man, we come from that era where, we tapped into like drugs and, doing all kinds of shit at odd hours of the night. And those things were distractions.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm glad I went through that shit when I went through it and not now as a grown-ass nigga, right? Yeah. So I got to get over all that mess out but it's so refreshing to see niggas that are moving in the game that's so full of that shit and they're like that ain't for me, right? So that's that kind of shit that youngsters need to hear. And I dig how they do it in a light order. It's all fun and games, we're making happy music, but if you're really listening to them niggas, they ain't talking shit. They're not talking shit.
True.
You know what I mean? So I put them in that bag. And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be that lyrical, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just say something that a kid is going to take home and be like, hey, Grootman, we'd say, let me know.
Clean.
You know what I mean? And
okay. So I'm glad you distinguished Joreo. It's not about that lyrical miracle, 6,000 syllables.
Yeah.
Just bring it to me how I do it, how I try to fulfill my responsibility as an African rapper. Is using melodics and grooves and just trying to find ways to spoon feed the South African audience barring Dance Nation,
Sure.
So just trying to find creative ways to put across your message.
I feel you.
Without compromising, the message, the quality, and the art.
Yeah.
The craft in general. Because I feel like it's been tainted by niggas who are out here flossing, ain't saying shit.
Ain't saying fuck. Ain't saying fuck.
And we have that connotation now in our minds. Mo rapper, all of that.
Now I feel you.
I think that's one of my battles too. Just trying to find a way to make it palatable, more palatable, but still keep that MC
element to it.
element to it. That's why you'll find me singing on the hooks, but I'm rapping on the verse, bro. It almost sounds like a feature.
Now I fucks with that. Like I'm in that era myself where I'm doing a lot less rapping outside of Hash1, and doing more experimental shit.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of singing, a lot of that. But the reason why I had to step away from the rap thing for a little bit, and not step away, but just kind of take a moment to debrief.
Yeah.
And be like, yo, I'm kind of done proving that I can rap. Right? So if I'm gonna rap on a joint, I don't want to come at it on some like, I'm trying to show niggas that I can rap.
Yes.
Right? It's like, yo, let me make a joint where I'm rapping my ass off.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the most profound shit in the world, but it's like, yo, this shit is put together fucking seamlessly. That'll show niggas I can rap.
Yeah.
You know? And if I'm gonna sing in between and do that and this and that, yeah, so be it. But
I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you, yeah.
And I think that's that's why people get confused. It's like, to be a rapper, you gotta be this hard nigga with the hard verse every fucking time. No,
but nah.
You know, but you gotta be consistent in your ability to write dope shit.
Yes.
You know, yeah, man.
Yeah, bro.
You know, Drake gets a lot of flack for being a pop artist, but niggas forget, like, as corny as he is, nigga can rap.
Can rap.
Motherfucker can rap.
Drake.
You know, I like Drake, but I'm not like, I ain't a ride or die for Drake type of nigga. But yeah, I can't hate on Drake.
Same.
You know,
I also kind of like grew out of that stan mentality, like, because I'm an artist now.
Who do you use?
I find it the same niggas, Drake and Kendrick and them, you know, and Jigga and them.
Sure.
But now I'm kind of like, I can take you, nigga. You know, it's that weird, like.
That's how Luna Florentino got in hot water, nigga.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
He went to Twitter.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
It's the same mentality, right? And I was watching Zinger respond to the diss joint, and he's like, and Luna didn't do anything wrong, in the sense that he didn't feel like Drake's shit was dope, right?
Yeah.
And Zinger's response to that is, let's go. Just switch them off at the back there, my G. His response was that, like, if you're gonna say that this pen game ain't tough, then
show us
your pen game.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that, right? If I'm an MC, it doesn't mean I can't say your shit is whack.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that I think I'm doper than you. But at some point, nigga, we're not always gonna be all dope all the time, right? So if Luna says, nah, that shit ain't it, you can't come back to me and say, oh, but what about your pen game? That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're not talking about my pen game here. We're talking about this shit. What you present to me is not dope. If you go to a restaurant and order a steak and the steak doesn't come the way you want it, you can't say, the chef can't say, no, but I cooked a nice one yesterday. Like, no, this one is not nice, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
The chef can now tell me,
okay,
hey, let's see you cook a steak.
Yeah.
Like, nah, nigga.
Yeah.
Nah, I cook my own steak at home the way I like it.
Yeah.
You probably won't enjoy it. But I came here, paid money for your steak.
Yes.
That you are supposedly fucking better at than me. So, nigga, it better be good. Because if it ain't, I'm going to tell you it ain't good. It's the same approach.
Yeah.
You can't fucking tell me, no, nigga, cook your own steak. Let's see. Nah, fuck all that. You know what I mean? So that idea is flawed. You know, and he proved, like, yo, my pen game's strong, nigga. Like, it's not about my pen game is bigger than Drake, is better than Drake's. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? My pen game is strong, and that's how he proved it. He threw a joint at Zinger. And I was like, all right, shit.
Damn.
I was like, that's dope.
Yeah.
You know, but Zinger coming out saying, I retired this, retired that. I was like, nah, that's corny to me. Like, that's corny. Don't be saying you retired. And, nigga, it ain't that deep.
They call it shifting goalposts in this day and age.
100%. If you're a rapper, you're a rapper. You're not Joe Biden, dog. Joe Budden ain't gotta get in the studio because he's been at it with big dogs. He's got the bars. We know that. We ain't questioning that. Zinger ain't there. Has he?
I feel you.
The bars?
I feel you.
I ain't hating, but I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna pull the retirement card, nigga, at least let your track record speak
for itself. Yeah,
and his track record doesn't speak.
Yeah, I think we need to take a moment on social media, before we put up that post, that comment, that opinion, just take a second.
Yeah, and are you finna back it up?
The ramifications.
Yeah. Are you finna back it up, you know? So niggas must just watch how they talking, man.
But also, bro, I don't think that mentality is wrong in the sense that you are using it as a tool to better yourself. But if you're gonna use it now to downplay niggas shit, that's where I have a problem.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? I get it when you...
And that's the difficult part, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've had to tell myself, like, yo, am I willing to say certain shit? Like, even now, saying Zinger this, his catalog doesn't really speak to his ability as an MC in a positive light, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some smoke I can catch from that.
Yeah.
Right? But I know, as much as my shit isn't mainstream and my shit is there. You can go bump my shit, nigga. If you doubt my pen, go bump my shit. And then let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about numbers.
Yes.
Because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about pen game.
Yes.
And that's always ever my argument when it comes to like this rap beef competition shit. It's about pen game. I know I'm not playing in the big leagues.
Yes.
You know, but I've stood next to niggas that are playing in the big leagues and they're like, yo, you got skills.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking shit. You know. And if like, and I cut you off, but if you're gonna say some shit about niggas shit, you gotta be able to back it up because I'm gonna come at you.
Yeah. And we see a lot less of that these days. It's just all talk.
No fucking action.
No action.
Like,
all bark,
niggas
no
will say,
bite.
nah, it's a cloud chase. This man, this one. Fuck all that, bro. Look at Rashid. He came out saying what and the other about Stogie. Got called out. Stogie ain't gotta get to on a mic to. We know. We like no. If Stogie had responded, I'd have been upset.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that?
Wasting time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we know. Whereas in this regard, this lighty came and be like, what you talking about, nigga? In the same light, if you're gonna call out my pen game, I'm calling out yours.
Yeah.
So say something. Right? Here's my shit. What's up with you? Don't hit me with that I'm retired bullshit. Nah, bro.
Is it even worth it?
Out. That's a cop out.
Yeah.
Simple and plain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and also, it doesn't need to get personal. We're having conversation about skill levels here.
Yeah.
It's not who's a bitch ass nigga and who's a what. No, not. It's not impersonal. I don't know these niggas personally like that. You know, so there's no reason to let it get to that point. You know, but if we're gonna be calling each other's skills out on a public level, whether it's a tweet or it's on wax, it's the same shit. Let's hold the same standard to it. Like, you know what I mean?
Be ready to be held accountable.
Yeah. Don't cop out with some nonsense.
Clean. Yeah,
you
bro.
know, so yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
You know, so yeah, man. Let's grow this music shit like with skills.
Yeah. And let's encourage quality work. Like we get so phased by the hype most of the time that, you know, some niggas just fly past us. And then only years later we catch on and we're like, actually, what were we thinking?
I did a joint years ago,
you know,
off the hype, dog. Off the hype, like it actually can cloud your judgment very quickly, bruh. You know what I mean? And you end up going to the wayside, doing things that you shouldn't have been doing. From an artist perspective, like musical choices and this, that, and the other, you know. I've been told, like, yo, why ain't you doing this and that? Because I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to tap into that bag, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm doing it in my private arena, and from time to time I'll put shit up on the studio, on the stories to be like, yo, what y'all think of this? You know, and if the response ain't great, I'm like, I need to go work on this some more, like polish up these skills,
Yeah.
polish up this particular bag,
Yeah.
as opposed to just doing it because that's the new trend. That's the hype shit.
Yes.
That's the shit that's gonna give me clicks and likes and
Yeah.
people view my shit. Yeah. But longevity is not a lot of artists can do that and build long lasting relationships.
Yes.
I mean careers. You know.
That's essentially selling your soul, doing what you wouldn't do.
Yeah.
For,
Are you looking for
validation?
Are you looking for a deal out of the shit that you're doing?
I wouldn't say I'm necessarily looking for a deal, but I understand. Okay, look, for the vision I have, right? I'm gonna need to sign with a major, you know, like a joint venture. I'm not looking for no artist deals.
Why a major though?
Because
Why not a strong independent label?
then that's also cool. That's also cool, but I'm just looking for consistent mainstream airplay, whatever it is, whatever my products are. I want them consumed on a mainstream level. And I'm going to partner with the people that have the resources and the assets to make that possible. But I'm also not willing to compromise, you know, myself in the process. I'm not willing to compromise big splits, ridiculous splits for the amount of work I put in. I put in a lot of work to the shit. And, you know, I deserve at least 50 when we start talking about those kind of conversations, joint ventures. And I think the reason why we gravitate a lot to majors is because of the notoriety they have, honestly.
It's late for majors, man.
If we had any other way, bro,
It's fucking over. It's over. It's over. It's over.
but I'm interested in that. What's your observation? Why do you say it's over for the
So, 'cause
majors?
there's no fucking money in music, bro.
I don't think that's true, bro.
There's no fucking
I think they're lying on us.
Nah,
dog.
bro.
They lying on us.
The way the system has been set up now, the artist is not eating, and now the majors have been eating. They've been spending a lot of budget, putting it into mainstream artists, right? The bigger artists, your Drake's, your Taylor Swift's, those big artists, right? But the thing is, they're playing into the machine, right? Your Spotify, your Apple Music, your all of that shit. Them niggas are holding all the fucking cards, right? Because they dictate what the fuck is what.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you gonna pay an artist 0.003
Of
a fucking
of a cent.
You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
That's wild.
You know, so as soon as artists understand that there's no power in being, you know, having your shit on there. Guys like Bola Russell have built their own platforms.
Yeah.
They've created systems where they allow their fans to cop shit from them directly. And in that light, you're taking some power back, right? Major labels have been shutting down over the last few months, bro. So many people are losing jobs because the major label isn't functioning the way it used to function.
Yeah.
There's no artist development and none of that shit no more. That was really one of the major things that you wanted from being part of a label, is that you get exposed to growing as an artist.
Yeah.
You know, improving your skill set, being put in environments where you can achieve certain things that you couldn't. You know what I mean? If you look at the story of Kanye West through his documentary, I mean, the struggle that dude went through, right? The shit he wanted from a label was the shit he couldn't do himself.
Yeah.
That was the point of a label.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about For me, it was being with a label. It's not about getting to a bigger audience. Fuck that. It's for me to be able to create super amazing art at a higher budget, right? Because if you're gonna give me $1 million to make a fucking album, my nigga, I'm creating some fucking amazing shit.
Yeah.
If I can do an amazing project with the shoestring budget, the 10K, 20K budget, what's $1 million gonna do, right? And that gives the label incentive to go be like, okay, we've invested a lot in this shit. Let's invest in making sure that it works.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Whereas now, what labels are doing is they going out to TikTok and saying, oh, this guy's popping off.
Yeah.
Look at the artists that got signed locally last year. So many artists got signed up to majors, right? This babe, Nanette, I dig her a lot. She came out with a EP. Actually, I saw a single. Jiggy Jiggy. She's with Universal. I'm like, why'd you sign? Like, they're not doing anything for her career. They're doing things that she can do herself. They'll just take a little bit longer, but she can do that shit herself.
I feel you.
There's nothing. If I'm gonna sign with a major, I'm trying to get fucking movement like Tyler is getting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
true.
what I want.
Yes.
Like if I'm talking to a major, it's like that's what I want, bro.
Yes.
I'm trying to be in rooms with certain niggas. Like you're not gonna get me a fucking super sport.
Yeah.
Nah,
I
nigga.
get you.
I'm trying to get Beats by Dre.
Okay. So
I'm trying to get Nike.
I have two questions for you.
Mm.
2 questions for you. One, the first question is, what's the most valuable deal to have today as an artist? Second question is, if there's no money in music, how do we generate revenue as musicians?
I want to correct that. I don't want to say there's no money in music, but it's tough to make a buck from music.
Oh well, it's been monopolized.
Yeah.
It's been taken from
so
artists.
The only way to make money, and with anything that you do, building a business, it takes time for it to get to a point where it's making money.
Yeah.
Right. So to make money off your music, you have to build your own audience.
Yes.
And you gotta let them know that you get my shit from me directly. If you want my shit, this is where you get it. My shit ain't free.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of unlearning that needs to be done. That needs to be done, right? And it's up to us as artists to teach the people that fuck with our music that y'all been getting this shit for free.
Yes.
Yes, it's you are paying
them
for access to this shit, but we're not seeing that money.
Bro.
We're not seeing that money. So if you want access to my shit, you're gonna pay me directly.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to, that's cool.
Yeah.
No beef, but that just means you ain't,
Bro.
I mean, the biggest artists in the world are crying the same cry, bro.
Yeah.
But James Blake have been out saying the same shit.
And
you know what I mean?
B.
It's that serious.
It is, bro.
It's that fucking serious.
Ish.
And it's up to us as artists to teach people new ways to consume our shit. And the idea, or no, I'm too small to try and nigga. I'd rather make that $1,000.
Yeah.
Than $1,000 of 100 people making my shit move that little bit, than tapping into the machine and looking for 100,000. Nigga, telling me it's not easy to get 100,000 streams.
It's not, bro.
It's easy to get 1,000 plays.
Yeah.
But if I'm charging every single one of them plays, I've made my money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm with you.
let's do that rather.
I'm with you.
And in terms of valuable deals, that's a difficult conversation because it all depends on what you want.
Yeah.
As an artist, we all want different things. We all want different things. So it depends. You negotiate your deal in that light of like, what do I want? What do I want to achieve? If I want to be touring, and I mean, if Casper's not a great example, then I don't know what niggas want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this nigga did all he did with leveraging relationships. I mean, fill up, bro. You know, he was loaning money from his niggas, like, yo, my nigga, my nigga, my nigga, you know?
Yeah.
See the vision, see the vision, see the vision. And that's the name of the game. You gotta convince niggas to see your fucking vision. And they'll put money in your pocket to do the shit that you wanna do, right? So it's the same approach with the label.
That's facts,
like, yo, see the vision. Don't sign the deal if they're gonna now infringe on your vision. And be like, nah, this is our money. You gotta do it like this. Nigga, fuck all that. Fuck all that. If I'm looking for somebody to put money into a project, I'm like, yo, my nigga, this is a project. This is what I need. 100,000 rand. This is what I'm going to do with it. This one you're going to get it back. Stay out of it after that. If you're going to put it in, stay out of it. Because then it's not the vision.
Yes.
You are there to make sure that it works.
Yes.
By supporting and seeing where things might go wrong. Support it. Don't change it. We've had a lot of people come up to us trying to tap into, like, you know, being our managers and all of that. And it's like the conversation breaks down when you're like, do this, don't do that. Like, why did you guys make a piano joint? Like, nigga, did you listen to the album?
Bro.
Niggas is rapping about fucking suicide. Fuck am I doing a piano joint for? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, nah, bro. We're wasting time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the deal, you gotta find the value in it, and you gotta be able to say, I'm willing to lose myself with this or that, there's a lot of variables that you gotta consider. So I can't answer the question and say this is a valuable deal or this is not a valuable deal.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
then I see you got some Tenasu CDs.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
So when Tenasu came out, we're like, yo, we're gonna distribute this shit physical.
Yeah. It's 2021, right?
It's 2020.
2020, COVID.
2020, and you know, we're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's take the risk. We pressed 20,000 copies.
20,000
or 10,000.
That's gold.
No. The entire plan was 20,000.
Yeah.
And we pressed 1,000.
Okay.
I think we pressed about 1,000.
Damn, bro.
And the week the CDs were being shipped to us, Musica announced
that they shut it down.
So we had the CDs in our hands. They were on the way. Boom. Done. No Musica. And with the distro deal that we had, we were going to have those 20,000 CDs out at every Musica nationwide. We're going to do a tour, like popping, like pop-ups at Musicas and malls, and just promoting the CD. And, you know, doing that kind of promo kind of situation, and all of that got taken away. So our promotional plan for Tenasu was not so much around creating visual content around it, but it was about being out there selling the CDs and getting people to hear the music and introduce ourselves to this market. You know what I mean? And more so places that fuck with Motswako, Limpopos, going to
Northwest,
Botswana, going to different places within the Northwest, and really getting those sales to move, right? And then that allows us to set up shows in those places. So that was the ultimate overview plan. But that all of that shit got fucking snatched away from us, and we were like left sitting with this shit in our hand. Sold some through the boot. I've been giving some away for free. But it's a learning. Those are the risks you take. You know what I mean?
Bro, we also did that 2022, VI and I. We dropped our album, Here to Stay, only on CD. Nah? And then we only printed like 300. Nah? And we were going to sell those out the boot too. We set up an online shop for people to place their orders on there and to gather names and emails and stuff to build a mailing list. The reason why we did CDs, you know, at such a bad time to make CDs was because we wanted to actively build an audience. You know, we were feeling that social media is making it too hard. We're competing with a lot, and it's hard to cut through. So we said, fuck it, let's make CDs, bro, and make a digital album. When people buy the CD, they also get a digital album. And then we did campaigns for days, bro. For like a month, we were just trying to teach people that, streaming, you are renting the music. Don't just stream it, own it. Don't just stream it, own it. Making flyers and posters and ads and, product shoots and all of that shit.
Did it work?
It worked for only like a couple copies. After that, it wasn't sustainable, because the expenses were far too much for the revenue we were generating.
In terms of what?
Sales.
So the 300 that you had, did you move all 300?
Nah. I still have like 100 copies. People come get your Here to Stay CDs out there. Hit me up on Instagram. Support independent artists.
I feel you, and those are the risks you take,
Yeah.
But again, I would, like, now in the current state I'm in, I wouldn't do the CDs.
Same.
And to be fair, when the musical thing happened, it wasn't a shock. It was whispers were happening.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that were helping us negotiate those placements within Musica, they were like, yo, man, it's not looking great. It's not looking great. Do you want to take the risk?
Bro.
And I was like, yo, let's run with 1,000. Let's run with 1,000 and see if we can pull that off.
Yeah.
Right. And the deal that we struck was like, okay, let's run with 1,000, but for that first 1,000, we'll use our money. Right. We'll put our own 20 bands or so together, get the 1,000, and then after that first press, the rest of the 20,000, y'all will cover that.
Yeah.
Right. And then you take your
cut.
earnings from the sales.
Yeah.
I was like, perfect. So they were willing to take the risk with us as soon as we were like, all right, cool.
That's dope.
So we took the risk, and then it didn't pay off because, but that's the name of the game. And that's the name of the game. That's why it's so important for me to tell that narrative, like, yo, fuck the streaming shit, yo. Because we don't make the money back, my nigga.
We don't.
You gotta be streaming high fucking volumes to make any fucking buck.
Yeah.
And then if you're gonna go to a major to get the high volumes, you're splitting that little fucking measly money with the fucking labels. You gotta pay for that promo that went behind all of that shit. To get those high numbers, they don't just come organically. There's a machine behind, there's and I'm not taking away from artists that do get those super high numbers organically.
Yeah.
They are there, but it's not everybody. We're not all Java. We're not all, on that high level.
Yes.
So if I'm an artist who's like me, working 9 to 5, doing my own thing, trying to make a buck or this shit, like, yo, I'm not looking at majors to help me get those numbers because I'm not going to make money still. So I need to build my own
community, audience.
But the word I'm looking for is business studies never again, but like economy within my people. Where they get something for what they spend, and it's not just you buying the music, you tapping into something bigger than just owning a piece of my music. You get to tap into me. You're paying for my involvement in your life. I'm adding value through this shit that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Or trying to anyway. And in that light, you are able to contribute to what I'm building. By having a say, having a voice. But anybody out there who's streaming my shit be like, that shit's trash. Man, nigga, fuck you. It ain't for you. It ain't for you. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I think? I tell everyone this, bro, that these streaming companies, they need to at least give a buy option. Like, just give people at least the choice to decide, we want to buy or just stream the shit. Instead of showing our numbers out there on Spotify or less than 1,000.
It's like saying,
just give people
going to the plantations back back in the day and telling the slave owner to let the slaves keep their kids. Don't sell the slaves' kids. Yeah, it's bad for business. It's bad for business.
True.
They've already set it up the way it is. They're not gonna take a less cut. Like, it ain't gonna happen. We just gotta find ways to build our own shit, bro.
True.
You know?
True. Every day is more of a reality check of that.
Yeah.
That choreo.
You know? And y'all gotta decide if you wanna do this shit for real or is it a hobby? Yeah, and I'm glad for niggas like you, it's not just a hobby, bro.
It's not.
I mean, when I came in, I even used to say to my family, like, yo, it's a hobby. And then they started using that against
you.
Yo. Like, I can't even say this is a hobby. You know, focus on more the buka.
Eish, bro.
The buka papa.
Eish. Eish.
You know what I mean? So you gotta decide, man. And if you're gonna go in this shit for the money, then find the fucking money. It's either you're gonna play into the machine and you gotta spend the money to get the fucking results, or build your own shit where it can also, at the end of the day, we're looking for results.
Yeah.
And the results is being able to build an ecosystem that's sustainable for your art. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro.
Damn, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's what's up, man. Tell people where to get What's Good Hāzy 2, man.
Yo, man, it's your boy Hāzy reporting live from the #1 committee. I'm here to tell you today that my EP, What's Good Hāzy 2, is out now. Everywhere. Get it on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music. Your favorite place to listen to music. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at HAZY_SA. And HAZY.SA on Facebook, man. Holla.
That's var. Now, this shit is gonna open up a fucking can of worms for me.
Let's.
Nah, bro.
Let's, dog.
Artists are gonna now hit me up like, yo, man, I refused a few. Like, you know, niggas, and I've been saying, like, yo, I ain't doing interviews.
This is not an interview. Public service announcement.
But you are here promoting. Now, guys are gonna want to come and promote.
Come on.
You know, but I guess that's what this platform is for. It's like to just let people have a voice about their shit.
The culture. You gotta do it for the culture.
Yeah, you know.
They love that.
Yeah, man. This was a comedy cast.
Yeah.
Mukino, man. Na. Call me President. Yeah, man. And until next time, bro. Peace.
I got done shots in rotation. I see the bong in rotation. I see the hoes in rotation. I got alcohol in rotation. I see the shots in rotation. I see the bong in rotation. I see all the hoes in rotation. Gotta go.